Mr. Vinod Ramnani. Mr. Ramnani is a General Manager, Business Development at ATE Enterprises Private Limited HMX. He has 4 decades of HVAC industry expertise in system design, equipment sales, application engineering, and project management. His career spans domestic experience with Voltas Limited and ATE Group HMX in India and 2 decades of international experience in Dubai and Muscat with Career Corporation and Bhavana Enterprises. He is a member of Ishrat Khane chapter, part of CWC, heading and leading membership, training and technical development initiative. Today, Mr. Ramnani will briefly overview about HMX energy efficient cooling solutions. Please join me welcoming Mr. Ramnani.
Thank you, gentlemen. And thank you, Mr. Azmi, for a wonderful first session. And you have made, in fact, my job a little easier by talking about indoor air quality. Mr. Azmi talked about the importance of indoor air quality. And we will talk about same discussion ahead, talk about indoor air quality as well as the energy efficiency in cooling of the buildings or cooling of the facilities. So let us see what exactly is happening and how we can mitigate these situations. Just a few facts just before we forge ahead. Last 10 years, from 2013 to 2023, 40% of the world over has seen the highest temperatures on the record. And in fact, 2023 was the hottest year in terms of temperatures recorded all over the world. And also we know that since 1980s, the rate of global warming has increased 3 times as compared to the decades prior to 1980s. And some of the things that we see as a part of global warming are shrinking glaciers, floods, rising sea levels, and the most important which affects us on a day-to-day basis is our heat waves and hotter temperatures, which we are experiencing and which has been physically seen now from last few years very, very clearly. One of the important aspect that comes here is that the buildings that we occupy or the buildings that, where we work, they need to be cooled to counter these heat waves. And as we know that this is air conditioning in any building is consuming sometimes 60% of the connected power also. In some cases, it goes even higher as 70%. And one of the responsibility for us is to reduce the energy usage. So now coming to the topic of comfort, some of the important things that Mr. Azmi also touched and which I will further elaborate is, one is, of course, the quantity of the fresh air. Then second important aspect is a good circulation of the air inside the space, temperature, dry bulb temperature, and humidity. In addition to it, the things which affect the humans which occupy these spaces is what kind of activity they are doing inside the space, as well as what kind of clothing levels are there for these people. So a good indoor air quality will be taking into consideration all these aspects and provide the cooling and ventilation. But of course, because of this, the energy costs are going high. While energy costs are going high, we are also reminded day in, day out to reduce the CO2 footprints and of course maintain the comfort. So there's a delicate balance that which needs to be now brought into the cooling systems which we are going to employ in our buildings. And in terms of cooling of these spaces, we have come out with something which is combination of evaporative cooling and conventional air conditioning to cool these spaces. So which on one hand improve the indoor air quality as well as which also improves the comfort level of the people who are occupying these buildings. So with our technology, we are manufacturing direct evaporative cooling solutions with our patented technology, heat exchangers, which are called, trade name of those is called DAMA. These are basically plate type heat exchangers, which are employed in a cooling system to create cooling without any addition of moisture. When we use these systems purely without any air conditioning, without any cooling coil in the air conditioning incorporated, we can save the power as high as 60% as compared to air conditioning. We can also combine this technology with air conditioning, and for fresh air systems, we can save to around 29 to 30% of the power. And where we are using this coupled with air conditioning for recirculation systems, we can save more than 20% of the power. I will show you some of the spaces which we have used these systems for. This is one of office building in western part of India, where we have used these systems for creating comfortable environment and excellent indoor air quality inside the office. And this is the LEED certified building. We save substantial amount of energy because we are not using any direct expansion or chilled water system. This is a complex which is educational institution which has got mixed use buildings. Some of these require air conditioning, some of these are are cooled with air cooling process. The whole complex is using indirect evaporative cooling as one of the prerequisite along with the air conditioning system. One of the area which is basically the science museum. Again, a fresh air system the whole fresh air system has been supplied here, which saves considerable amount of energy. This is again in western region of India in Ahmedabad. These are the typical spaces for a IT building, where these are used for taking a break for their employees from their long hours. So again, these are cooled with the help of 100% fresh air cooled indirect evaporative cooling systems, creating a very comfortable environment and very good indoor air quality. And this has been repeated in 7 different locations all across India. This is one of the airport which has got the whole passenger terminal area is cooled with indirect direct evaporative cooling machines, and no air conditioning has been used in this. Again, the benefit to the end user as well as to the people is better indoor air quality and good cooling system. Some of the corporate office buildings where we have used these systems in combination with air conditioning. This is Goldman Sachs headquarters in India in southern city of Bangalore. We have used treated fresh air units incorporating our indirect evaporative cooling technology and saving considerable amount of power. Shopping malls, again, similar treated fresh air system used. Some of the supermarket areas, which are traditionally, very high traffic area in terms of people, in terms of goods movement. These spaces have been cooled without air conditioning with our indirect evaporative cooling machines. Some heritage buildings, which where no changes in the architecture or no breaking or reconstruction is possible, have been cooled with our systems. This is in northern city of Lucknow in India. This is a pharmaceutical company's warehouse where we maintain 25 degrees throughout the year. And we have used a combination of indirect evaporative cooling along with a DX cooling coil to create cooling in these spaces. This is Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. This is Landmark Group's largest warehouse in Saudi Arabia, which is nearly 50,000 square meter in space. And we have used purely indirect direct evaporative cooling technology, and we maintain 25 degrees throughout the year when temperatures go as high as 48, 49 degrees. Typical multi-story tower in Sharjah, fresh air system used with our indirect evaporative cooling technology, saving a lot of energy, which is used, used for treating the fresh air for this building. Coca-Cola bottling plant, industrial cooling. We have done now, till now, we have done 19 bottling plants for Coca-Cola, where, the whole spaces are cooled with 2-stage indirect direct evaporative cooling. Volkswagen manufacturing facility in western city of Pune. Whole factory has been cooled with the help of 85 machines with indirect evaporative cooling. We will find all the big names in this who have been using our systems I would just like to bring your attention to Kuwait Airways, where we have done the whole aircraft hangar, which maintains 27 degrees throughout the aircraft hangar, where the flights are checked prior to flying and certified fit for flying in temperatures as high as 48, 49 degrees. We maintain 27 without any chilled water or without any air conditioning cooling fans. Some of the installation photographs of our machines. We belong to ATE Group from India, which is now 85 years old in the country, and originally a textile engineering giant. And from last 25 years, ATE Group has been acquiring companies which are on green energy, which are on environment friendly and sustainable practices. And HMX is one of their initiatives in this direction. I would take further questions during the question answer session or during the panel discussion. And thank you very much for giving the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Ramnani, for
Thank you.
sharing and highlighting the significance of HMX energy efficient cooling solutions.